that I've explained women, I feel like I can explain everything. I always wanted to make everything explained. This will be my magnum opus. I don't love myself. I do not love myself. And therefore, I'm curious all the time about becoming more. I do not love myself, and therefore I'm curious all the time about becoming more. But this curiosity is somewhat provoked by such self-doubt, like such heavy self-doubt, that, as Frank Ocean said so frankly in his oceanic soul, that you could think of a thought and imagine a reality where it feels like you can no longer connect and get in touch with God, so, or yourself. So, that's pretty much the same as not loving yourself. Reality is how you view yourself. If other people don't like you, that's because you don't like yourself. You could be the smartest person in the whole world. Honestly, I didn't want to face this anymore. I used to talk about it more often, but lately I've just been trying to have fun and like be the best musician and artist instead of the best philosopher and meditator. Yeah, that's really what I'm the best at that. I'm the best at everything in this dimension because of my 3/3 eyes, my clarity of my sentient, my way of perceiving things, my clarity of viewing myself, the way in which I completely get instantly and understand that the self is both God and a boy. It's not difficult for me to understand at all. And I don't know if I've ever looked, Leo Gura. There's one man who has an insane intellect, similar to mine. But for me, it comes more naturally. Like how people say Messi is a soccer player who understands soccer so well that he would call it football, of course. Not like me. Just kidding. I call it football as well. But, why? Why me? I suppose that's what I'm left with. I don't really have anything left to prove. I'm so self-assured. I'm so utterly, insanely perfect in my self-love that I know I'm the best musician of all time. I know I'm the smartest person, even when nobody else pretty much is telling me these things. No one else at all, actually. So, I mean, a lot of people have told me I'm good at these things. Most people have told me I'm insane and stupid. Though. Tweaking. I've been tweaking a lot lately, and in this video I'm not really doing it that much. I feel like that's some kind of excuse to my father. I feel like I have to explain. Because suffering is currency in this life. That's sort of another thing that's part of it. That God the Father is a total evil entity because suffering is currency. Doing what you don't want to do. Like the Father thinks that the Father very much prides itself. God the Father is so much all about like thinking it's cool to do what you don't want to do and feel negative, feel bad. And like, oh my God, you feel bad. God like mocks you for this with a Joker smile. So God is kind of more seems like the devil, really. And the devil is more like a child, a boy, the ego boy, like just trying to have fun with this mess that God has given, because God is so utterly delusional that God actually thinks things should be earned. Like, this is why women are very much so like the instruments of the God that is evil. I sometimes accidentally say Lucifer or Satan, rather, when I'm criticizing the army of women, but really it is God's army. Women are God's army because of how they provoke such self-doubt purposefully with their mysterious making up of their face and putting away of privacy into such a back room, the farthest back room possible, is always the most probable place to find her heart. And men wear their heart more on their sleeve. They do. Ah, damn, fuck, that hurts. It literally hurts to realize that. Because it means that men are alone in the world, in a way. Like we as men, just speaking to men instead of women. Damn, I'm like very sexist. And, of course, pretty much all of the best, most famous, influential philosophers throughout history have been very sexist towards women and said they don't pursue truth much at all, especially compared to men. And I used to think that was because of the time in history. They were perceiving women at a time in history where the women were not participating in society as much, not allowed to. But, shit. Fuck. I guess I've returned to philosophy, to the masculine, to Friedrich Nietzsche, to the cave of true rawness that is being a man. Fuck. I guess I've returned to that kind of musculature in my mind because I explained away women. And when you explain away something, you kill it mentally. Its power over you is no longer present. Solitude, for example, no longer holds the same power over me after I realized solipsism, because now I know I'm always alone. So, how could it? Even though being alone still feels very different sometimes than being with people. So it could, but it doesn't in the same exact way whatsoever. It's not the same anymore, because I know that my point of sentience, my sentience, not even my sentience, me as sentience, is all that there, whatever, it's very cliche, I've said it a million times. But yeah, now I've really come to like, I love the way I feel myself. I suck my own dick as a serpent, a perfect sphere. I am sexually, energetically a perfect sphere, romantically involved with myself, very much so, more than anyone else, by far. And yes, this is only evolving into the beauty of explaining everything to you right now because I have explained away the feminine. And I am extremely feminine. I'm like more feminine than almost any woman. Like, yeah. I'm the most feminine person I've ever seen. For sure. But also the most masculine. Yeah, I'm truly pretty cool. But I want to explain everything in a way that lets me control everything. And control is letting go of the desire to control. No, it isn't. It's letting go of the idea that you can control. Because you can't. Yes, control is not even a thing. That feels very relieving and true. I'd like to abuse that street and walk down it more with my mind. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I've truly been brought back to myself by making Dear Friends We May Rest. By then having an after party where I just laid out everything. And now I'm in the midst of making some music videos for that, which are really fleshing out the Christian philosophy of self-sacrificing to become a loser and regressing into submitting to the sadistic, jealous, mysteriously stabbing feminine. Yeah, now that the feminine is seen just as a rejecting machine that is mechanically, factually impaired due to its inability to perceive my evolutionarily superior artistic tastes in articulation and simply my prettiness. Girl, you should see, girl, as you put on your face in the mirror with makeup, that I'm way prettier than you. Look at the shape of my eyes. Look at the color of my eyes. Look at my beard. Look at my hair. I'm prettier than you. And yet you still don't listen to me. You're a real idiot. Like, a real idiot. Because even the fake gold that lies around my face for fools to worship, even that couldn't convince you to submit to the fact that my logic is like a knife and your logic is like a fucking cloud. Even that, like, yeah. Another thing I used to think is that racism was no longer an issue. Now that I'm so into hip-hop, like more than ever, just keep going infinitely deeper into hip-hop. Yeah, most people are racist. Fuck. And that's another thing that makes you insane. If you're racist, like, it's the same thing. It's like, I'm about to watch, I was going to watch Eyes Wide Shut, but I'm going to watch 2001 A Space Odyssey because it's about me floating through outer space before I arrived on Earth in 2002. But anyway, Stanley Kubrick's last movie, Eyes Wide Shut, was like a really intelligent movie about how I want to be. It's like 2001 A Space Odyssey is how I am, because it's about my birth, and then Eyes Wide Shut is like how I want to be. So maybe I'll watch 2001 first, and then followed by Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, I'll do that. 2 movies is good. I was gonna watch Clockwork Orange also, but that movie is so fucking boring, bro. Like, it's so smart, but it's so boring. Like, what the fuck? 2001: A Space Odyssey is pretty boring too, but it's like really spacey, and I guess I don't find space boring because I'm space. It's always been a fascination of mine, outer space and physics. I'm a physicist above everything, and philosopher. But why do I masturbate so much with my voice? I'm masturbating with words. That's what I'm doing. It's like if I can find any word instantly just to describe how I feel and let it fall off of my tongue like it's nothing, then I don't have a problem, because if you can burn everything instantly with your lips, just like you burn your heart instantly with the weed, then you can just always be living on the forefront of the self-expression, because you never want it to stop. You just always want to be masturbating. Really. You want everything to be masturbation, because you always want to be masturbating with your voice, masturbating with your walk, masturbating with your way that you turn your head. Yeah. I had a very profound thought a while ago. What's the cost of turning your head? What's the cost of a blink? Of an eye blink? Because once you are a survivalist, you understand that every progression has a counterbalanced regression, which is a cost. When you eat the apple, whatever you eat after you eat the apple is probably going to taste bad. So, yeah, the falling starts as soon as you fly. Even the second bite of the apple tastes bad compared to the first bite. So it's tragic. It's fucking horrible. Which is why I'm black, not white. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna smoke weed instead. Oh boy. Yeah, it's like I'm so insanely beautiful. I'm the most beautiful thing in the world. And the world doesn't know it. I've always felt like I'm too beautiful for the world to ignore for my whole life. Like, I'll become really famous at some point. But most people feel like that. But they just forget as they grow older. Yeah, that's very interesting. That's why people don't become famous and rich. And they don't attain the ability to be honest and express themselves authentically. The reason is because everyone feels like they're going to be able to do that when they're a kid. And they think they're going to do that. Like, kids imagine their future as easily turning into pretty much however they want it to be, which is ignorant and stupid. But maybe it was real. And then we just got convinced that we can't become famous and rich whenever we want by being creatively just ourselves. Maybe we got convinced that because why? Well, there's some like guilt involved. There's like, why desire it in the first place? Which is my favorite aesthetic of all, which is the Christ-like aesthetic of poverty and shit. And it's the most beautiful thing in the world. Even to the rich people nowadays, especially, the aesthetic of poverty, of a tent. Yeah. That's what everyone is into really now, actually. Not everyone does the designer fashion clothes, but it's not cool anymore. And it happened ages ago, bro. It keeps happening. Yeah, with Macklemore, it's old. It's the oldest thing in the world. But because it's the oldest, most traditional thing in the world, it needs to be perfected. Love for nothingness needs to be perfected. I need to let myself go into a trance state more often and simply speak as I feel like. Wow, I've really been speaking of myself this entire time, realizing that I have been hypnotized into a fucking idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm a real idiot, bro. Wow. stupid. Fuck. And I'm like, oh, damn, I've never been more surprised in my life than I am right now. Because right now, I'm reeling from the realization that I am really retarded. I'm just marveling at how stupid I am. And at the same time, I know that I'm so much smarter than most people. That's really weird. And it's not good. It sounds like I'm bragging, and that's always the toughest thing. It's lonely at the top. Cliche. And that's the toughest thing. To get to the top of the mountain and cry is the coolest thing you can do. In life, probably. You gotta cry so much that you slide down that river. Back to the purity of yourself. Narcissus. I am Narcissus. Because here I am, staring at myself. Simply the beauty of my own breath is enough for me. More than enough. Far more than the word enough could ever describe. I am obsessed with my own beauty. I am Narcissus. Yeah, for real. I'm doing that, like, exactly. But so many are Narcissus. Yeah, I was thinking about A$AP Rocky and all these bitches trying to be a bad bitch. Ego inflation. Helium is a G-Eazy album I listened to recently. It was really good. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to that again. It's good. Maybe I'll listen to music while watching 2001: A Space Odyssey. Nah, I've already watched it, but I forgot it, though. I've only watched it once, and it's about me. I should fucking watch the movie. Ugh. I don't know. My grandparents, the reason why they want to stay alive, one of them wanted, past tense, but is to see what happens to me. Like, and it's not just because they're my grandparents. I go through these phases. It's like, at the beginning of this video, I said I have to be fear. I have to literally embody fear to let myself feel as I truly feel. And then I was looking at my face, and I have the masculine and the feminine or whatever. So it's like I am both fear and bravery a lot. Yes. That's a good way to explain life. My face. My fucking handsome ass face, bro. Life is like my face, because life is like love and fear and hairiness and prettiness or whatever. Messiness and cleanness together. Life is paradox. Yeah, paradox would be the word that would be needed if you were going to use one word to describe how reality works. Like, if you were describing it like a machine, the one word that you would need would be paradox, like the key. To unlock logic. Logic is like the door to control, and the key is paradox. Leo Gura spent like 15 fucking hours trying to say that in a video. I don't know, bro. I didn't watch the series of the 3 videos you made saying the same thing over and over again. Boy. Fuck you, dude. You were so cool. And then you literally decided to just not hurt us. No, I don't want to hurt you with my cool knowledge. It's too much for you. You're a fucking pussy. You don't care about evolution of fucking thought. You care about being fucked. You're a vagina. You just want to be in hiding in private, like a little masturbating gibbon, which is fun, I get that, but, maybe don't pretend to care about me like that. Just share who you fucking are, is my point. Your name isn't even Leo. I'm Leo. I'm the lion. And you're not even a guru. I am. Your name is Gura. Is life. Life is illusion. Death is truth. I am death. You can be The reason Leo Gura had to come up in this video is he's the one I'm killing with everything explained. I don't have any interest in being lower than anyone in the world, really, status-wise. I don't have any interest in being less intelligent than anything or anyone, ever. That would be bad. I don't want that. Especially when I've already became the best artist. I mean, I've already put that to bed. So now if I can't just abide in the intelligence of being the best at being smart, then I'm bored, bro. I'll just masturbate over that now, how smart I am again, because I don't know what else to fucking do. That's why. That's another thing that Leo said that I highly admire. He's taught me so much. It's not, yeah, he knows that. That the reason I have to kill him with this is because he's the best. Or was. So you need to be able to sum up what he says in a 3-hour video in like a paragraph. That's what's up. And I can do that. And I do that. Even just in my songs, like my freestyling. It's like talking. It's just summing up stuff he says. Pretty much, oftentimes. But he's just the head. He's the honest head. I'm the honest entirety of a human. He uploads his head and is completely honest with his head. I'm honest with my whole body. Right now I'm just using my head, but I'm far past, I transcended the paradigm of what is shown on the phone being what's real. Because I put my whole self on the phone and considered the phone to be what's real, 100%. So if you take something to 100%, it goes back to 0. Because 1 plus 0, times 0 is 0. is 1 times 0, 0? Oh boy. Because everything's a black hole. And the penis is ultimately, I don't know, subservient to the vagina? Or, I don't know, they're both each other. It's not like one's, I don't know, they both, time, How do I say that? 1, 0. Dick, vagina. Star, hole. White, black. Both defined by each other. Don't even try to find a better. Abandon better entirely and status games. Then what are we left with when we abandon status and levels to the comparisons of dick and vagina, black and white, masculine, feminine, star, black hole? What is the curiosity? What is the difference between us? What is the difference between us? Really? The 0 and the 1. I'm not even talking about men and women at all anymore, really. It's code. I'm a coder. I'm trying to decode just the most basic thing, the 1 and the 0. Ah, yes. The and. It is akin to the and, the most simple thing. Black and white, 0 and 1, and. Paradox. The Zen ox pictures the stages of enlightenment, going inward, then outward, reborn from nothing, traveling on a path to nowhere as yourself. And that's why it matters. But there is still an other. I am entitled. And that is what makes me intelligent. Only an entitled person is able to see when they are being wronged, when they are not being loved. If you're not entitled to love, you're not going to see when it's not love. I am so entitled that I know everything. I know that entitlement itself, therefore, must be everything explained. Perhaps that's why entitled to heaven is so enjoyable, hedonistically, pleasurably just to listen to. I always wanted a song like that. I make a lot of interesting music because without philosophy there is no art. And yeah, Asia often says shit that is very relatable to me. Even though she is across the sea, I still see her. partially because I already defeated it by becoming the most beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much perfect looking when I was like 17. So when you achieve that, it's like you don't care. But that's not the reason. The reason they don't care about the body is because the mind is the tool from which you can get whatever you want. That's why I think so much. The lyrics in my songs are so cool. Just want to torture God, sadly. Sadly, when I'm in an angry state of mind, today I was listening to some rage music. I was realizing Just Want to Torture God is the best rage song. It's the most angry song. And it's paradoxically perfect. And I don't even like that I'm the best at that. Because it's really cool. And if I can't desire being cool any longer, it really is hell. That Twilight Zone episode showing that when you get everything you ever wanted, it's hell. It's true. But what could be better than that? What could be better than that? And that's why paradox, as I said, has to be the word to unlock the door to control of reality, which is what I want. It's what we want, isn't it? We want to control reality to such a degree we don't even need to lift a finger to orgasm. That's what we want. And that's what Mahasamadhi is. The third eye orgasm of the apple seed, the seed of knowledge in our head. The seeds that we constantly give away to the demons, the women. I don't even need to use the word women anymore. Demons is fine. As Ken Doll Carson, the son of him is a car because he rides around and plays with these NPC dolls. But he knows, the black man knows, as Three Third Eyes, the chosen channeler of the dark feminine, knows that everything goes. Everything is okay. The world is your playground. Literally. And what this means is the child who was Julian has evolved so much. He has reached a state where he feels ready to be God. And this level is only attained when you pass the test of choosing your own breath over the love of the other. Then you become the Son of God. The Son of God doesn't even want apples. That's why he's the Son of God. He doesn't even really want pleasure or power. It seems like he wants power and control. Because he does. And he has power and control. God's Son. I am the second coming of Christ. And the reason I have control over everything and the power to do these miracles where things just seem to line up for me perfectly without reason is because I wait for God to speak through my mouth. I don't talk. I don't glance. I don't breathe. I don't tweak. I don't wrestle. I don't have sex. I don't listen to music. I don't do drugs. I don't lift a finger. I do not even confess my sins. God does all of that for me. I simply die. That's all. That's my responsibility as God's Son. My responsibility is just to die. And that's what I've been doing with my past 23 years. I don't know when I'll die, but that's what I've been in the process of accomplishing for God, who is speaking right now. I'm God. Not like this face, really, but like, yeah, the one who's talking is God. Because I don't put any willpower into anything I do. I killed my dick. I cut off my willy. I cut it off, metaphorically, by never trying. Just like the greatest poet of all time, Charles Bukowski. Like a cow on skis, that nigga be crazy. He wrote that on his gravestone, he wrote, he doesn't try ever. Yeah, because if you don't do anything, God does everything for you. And nobody will ever validate truly or understand truly for you that this is the case. They're just gonna crucify you. You fucking idiot. What the fuck? They did it already. That's all they do with this information. If you give them the good news, they crucify you. That's what happens. Why are you surprised? It's not surprising. I guess I'm surprised because I've realized that, yeah, I said before, like, if the other likes me, that means I like myself. If the other doesn't like me, that means I don't like myself. So does that mean that I don't like myself even as God? You know, I think that's what I've arrived at and realized, yes. Existence, when seen as it truly is from God's eyes, speaking from God's voice now, is hell. Because it is simply boring to not be able to not do things. Therefore, there are certain things that I cannot do. God said, "Let there be